It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Jaguars on Thursday night.
TIAA sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with their opponents. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 catches, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
A good gain on first, has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And this will be a Jaguars first down as he gets us up past the 30 to the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Robinson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb, because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They run. Robinson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now Lawrence. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. In trouble, and he's taken down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, it's Zach Wilson.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he coughed it up, and the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The whistle's here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. And this is caught at the 8. And the Jaguars are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. James Robinson with a touchdown under 20 on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
Now the extra point. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again, but I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Well, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Carter will try the right side. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He'll check this one down to Carter. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
Again, Wilson. And it's complete to Adams. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap and a give to Carter. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago. A boatload of carries, 113 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's a give to Carter. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Wilson. And it's caught. Touchdown. Elijah Moore. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Barons are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. A try here for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Here's 2nd and 10. First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Here's Lawrence. And a dump off here to Robinson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Wilson. Looking deep for Adams. That's caught inside the 20. And touchdown. Devontae Adams. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Barons have taken the lead. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 14-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. Taken in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands of the receiver, Chenault. 2nd down at 4. Lawrence. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Lawrence's throw taken in by Chark. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Throwing again on 2nd down. Lawrence. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Under a minute to go. Clock running in a back-and-forth first quarter of play. But to throw again is Lawrence. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete. Nearly intercepted. Completion left side to Miller. Gets through and now an opening. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Robinson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Here we go. Here we go. 57. Mike, 59.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll run it now with Robinson, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. On the run, it's Robinson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? This is caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
There's another example that playing football isn't strictly being physical. You got to think as well. Nice job reading his keys by the linebacker and going out in the open space. When they dumped it to the back, he was able to make the play and stop him short of the goal line.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
And he returns this to the 22. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. He'll drop that down to Carter underneath. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. James Robinson and the rest of the Jags offense set to go to work once more. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. On 3rd down, it's Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. He'll get this off to ETN. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Lawrence to throw. And Shark calls it in. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
A partner that locked in man coverage out left and end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Play action. It's Lawrence, and that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested, because you know the big guys up front, that's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game, and they know it helps their team.
Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. On third down, Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on fourth down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's Robinson again on second down. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Robinson now off the option. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Looking to throw, Lawrence. It's caught. It's Miller. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a third down. Again, it's Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This from 54 yards away. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
To throw again on second down. Wilson, and that's complete to Adams. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. They'll run with Carter. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
When you're dead last in the NFL in third down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
Carter with it. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Hey, we got four. We got four down.
Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. K'Lavon Chaisson. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
But that's what they have to do more defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Out of the gun, they run with Carter. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's Hoffrichter now, the punter, as he sends this one away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. And now out come the Jags. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point forthcoming. It's good, and it's 21-10. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Jags football again. DJ Chark ready to rock and roll. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. He's got the hook up to Miller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Over the middle, he's got Chenault. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And he's got this down to the 35. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll make this an 8-point game. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
And Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a moment. But first, let's give everybody a look at what's coming up this weekend in the NFL. The best of the early games on Sunday may just be in Buffalo, where the Bills face a big test, as they'll have to contend with the New England Patriots. In the late afternoon games, the place to be might very well be Denver, Colorado, where it'll be the Broncos taking on the Cleveland Browns. And one final game to highlight. It's Monday Night Football, and they've got a good one this week between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. We'll continue on and take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half. And even though they've got the lead, they're likely going over ways they can improve the running game, as they didn't find a whole lot of success in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football, and they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. From the 6. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half, they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Running left on the handoff, Carter. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Wilson. A throw to the flat for Carter. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
And that is taken in by Njoku. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Let's go. Let's go.
Whatever the discussions are at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. A give, Carter running right. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Wilson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Devon Hamilton. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. To throw is Wilson. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
So when's the best time to take the big shots downfield? When you think a defense least expects it, and I think the first play of the 3rd quarter qualifies. They came right out firing. That's how you send a message to start the second half of a game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Coming up on 2nd and 7. Here's Lawrence. Throw left side, going to be caught by Chenault. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Scotty Miller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars move back within a couple of the lead. Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There's so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it running. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football, you often find good running lanes.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. On the Jets sweep, here comes Moore. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. From the gun on third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So they bring out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. James Robinson and the rest of the Jags offense set to go to work once more. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
We got this.
Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there. Excellent. Because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial gain.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Lawrence will throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Schultz. And he goes out right around the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
57. Mike, 57. Mike, what's your back? Go.
On 3rd down, it's Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Second and 11. Now Lawrence. That's complete to Robinson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield, goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off at the 45. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. After the interception, here's Wilson. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Devon Hamilton, his second sack of the night.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
To try again after the sack. Wilson. It's caught here by Adams. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. From the shotgun, Wilson.
He'll drop this underneath to Carter.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And on now is the punter, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off right around the 43. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can.
And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 63 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, right back to Carter.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
Working with a 2nd and 4. A handoff for Carter.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack.
And the Jags are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Tie game, 4th quarter. You're already in the red zone, well in field goal range. You can't throw a pick there.
And you know I want to give all the credit to the defenders, right? I mean, they made a play on the ball. But bottom line, you set up the situation perfectly. You've already got the field goal in the bag. You've got to make sure you take care of the football in that situation.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the 4th quarter.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now Lawrence.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I don't know if careless is the right word there, but bottom line, here in the 4th quarter tie game, you can't do that.
You sure can, Brandon, and not only do you give up the lead, now you've got to turn around, punt it away from your own 20 as well. So it's really a double whammy with time starting to become a factor.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. It's taken to the 26.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Wilson. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. They go play action with Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Adams. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 20-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. He'll dump this off to Carter, complete. Not much there, only a yard. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Again, Wilson got his man complete over the middle. That's Rose. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Throwing is Wilson. Touchdown! Davante Adams, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Barons add 6 to their lead.
So a heck of a drive right there with the game potentially hanging in the balance.
A very good drive, and now conversion to make it a 2-score game and a solid lead.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. From the 6. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And that's complete to Etienne out of the backfield. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll try and set up the screen to Etienne. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Sharks got it left side. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. This is Chenault on the receiving end. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. That is incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On 2nd and 10, Lawrence. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Come on, we better not.
Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Here's Lawrence. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll move them back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
From the 27, Wilson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
After what they've faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Robinson. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Watch 18.
On first down, Lawrence. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. He's got a man complete. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. DJ Chark, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jags are an extra point away from taking the lead. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And you think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And that one spanning an even 65 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Now Carter to start the drive. 78 yards rushing for him now to this point. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Carter. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. A throw to the flat for Carter. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35.
Here we go.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Carter. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Here's Wilson to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. And they'll run here with Carter. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 3 yards the gain there, second down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. A potential field goal, if you're thinking about that, almost 55 yards from here as they try to get closer on third down. Now it's Wilson.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down.
And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. And it's hard to hold a kick from this distance against him, but that is now 3 misses for him in the game so far.
3! And you wonder where his head's at right now. Kickers are a funny breed, but I have a feeling he'd love to see a 29-yarder next time to get him back in the groove.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame.
From midfield now, Lawrence. He'll find Etienne out of the backfield.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. The situation for him offensively as follows. Down on the scoreboard. A little under 1:50 remaining. And they need at least 30 yards, you'd have to think, here to move the football to have a shot. Here's Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Throwing now is Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here's Carter.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll drop that down to Carter underneath.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And they'll get him down right about the 20. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Wilson.
They'll check this one down to Carter.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Bottom line, 2-yard gain's just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give them that the rest of the way. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to almost certainly win the football game. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick here is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So there was a little meat on that bone, a little more than a chip shot considering the circumstances, but he's able to bang it home in what should be the game winner.
And the key was getting him into a good position to kick from. I mean, if that's a 52-yarder, you're going to have some anxious moments, but kickers nowadays, you give them anything under 40, and they're automatic.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'll be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for our visitors, they solidify their spot in the playoffs as they run their mark to 12-4 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars,